Hello, family and friends. So, I welcome you today to a new month of success, goodwill, good health, and all that is good. I wish that this month brings you peace and serenity. Note that every fresh moment connotes a fresh beginning. God loves you and continue to love Him. Cheers.
Welcome, family and friends. So, this is our last series on personalities at meetings. Today, we will look at Mr. Block, Mr. Magpie, Mr. Red Herring, Mr. Rabbit on. Now, let's see who Mr. Block is. In the case of a female, you'll be called Mrs. Block. This person is a fastidious critic. He or she likes concentrating all the time on matters of procedure, protocol, and minute details. He or she treats problems seriously, but do not offer any solution. If he or she will even do it, it is quite seldom. He or she likes his fellow to repeat statements, and he or she makes a great ploy of taking notes while they are speaking. Normally, he or she likes to be legalistic even when given the opportunity. However, you hear him or her saying, on a point of order, Mr. Chairman, or Mr. Chairman, with respect to this statement, I think you will find the rules and regulations. Dealing with such persons needs tact. You have to control him in a way. Challenge him to offer a solution. That's an alternative solution. He or she is usually unwilling to offer any solution, but if he does or if she does offer any solution to the members, they will often reveal the weakness in his argument. If he or she becomes too fussy about matters of procedure, the chairman must be able to tell him firmly when the meeting is going to end. Now let's look at Mr. Rabbit on. This member in the meeting loves the sound of his or her own voice and thinks it is worth hearing. Never be deceived by his polite that if you would please allow me, Mr. Chairman, I want to make a point. If allowed, he would go on and on forever. On the other hand, if he is making a contribution which appears to be sound but long-winded, be careful, cautious, and firm when necessary. What you do is you break in finally at a point, summarize what he or she said, and ask a different member a direct question about another matter. Try not to allow Mr. Rabbit on to interrupt. Repeat the treatment each time he feels offended. So that's how you solve Mr. Rabbit on personalities at meetings. We go further to another personality at meetings, and this is called Mr. Red Herring. Mrs. Red Herring in the case of a female. Normally, she likes to introduce irrelevant matters and is a great time waster. If he or she is not controlled, he or she will lead the meeting astray. To deal with him or her, listen to him or her politely and then rule firmly that the point he or she is asking is not valid, but you are prepared to discuss the issue with him or her after the meeting, or he or she can bring it up for consideration at the next meeting. Normally, Mr. Red Herring personalities are very dangerous and diabolical members at meetings, and they can take over a meeting if he or she is not disciplined. Our final personality among the personalities at meetings is Mr. Magpie, or Mrs. Magpie in the case of females. She is always seen chatting, whispering, making gestures here and there to their fellow colleague members that are quite near them at meetings. So hearing neighbors at meetings. They normally want to distract. You handle this person by asking them quite difficult questions, if possible, about something a previous speaker said. Tendency is that it's likely or it is unlikely that she will have any answer, as she would not have been listening because of the various distractions he or she causes. Do not help her and discourage her from obtaining any help. Hold the silence and then carry on with the meeting. If she chats again, rebuke her much more. I believe that we have learned a lot with stating who we are during meetings. So the personality that you identify with, do you think it will help meetings? If not, please try to solve it so that we have successful meetings. I have loved you with an everlasting love. God is urging us. God loves us that much. Nothing can change God's love for us. So let's keep hoping in Him. He has the everlasting love. He is the everlasting Father. He loves us unconditionally. Cheers.
Subscribe!